In Alzheimer's disease, the first gene was one we found was the amyloid gene, and amyloid, of course, is the pathology of Alzheimer's disease. So this was a gene in the protein, a mutation in the gene coding for the protein which is deposited in the disease. And then the next genes which were found by Peter Hislop. He found mutations in presenilin genes. These are the genes actually which we later found out cleave amyloid from the amyloid precursor protein. So those were the first Alzheimer causing genes. They're all early onset disease genes. They cause rare forms of the disease. The next finding was in a different disease called frontotemporal dementia. And we found mutations in the tau gene in that disease. This is a gene, this is a disease where just tangles are found. And in Alzheimer's disease, both plaques and tangles are found. So we found then that amyloid gene mutations cause plaques and tangles, whereas tau mutations just caused tangles. So that really gave us clues as to the early onset disease. Much more recently, we, together with everyone else, has been looking at the genetics of late onset diseases. And one finding we made was we found mutations in a gene called TREM2, which is a microglial gene, which is involved in the microglial response to damage. And in general, in fact, as we've looked at the genetic risk loci involved in late onset disease, we found, and I mean the whole field, has found a whole set of genes involved in microglial response. And so what we think is happening is that these microglial genes are critical in the removing of the pathology that we see in Alzheimer's disease. And if you've got mutations in those, you're less good at removing that pathology. In Parkinson's disease, the first gene that was found by Bob Nussbaum was the synuclein gene. And in Parkinson's disease, the pathology is Lewy bodies, which is made up of the protein synuclein. Since then, we and others have found maybe 15 or 20 other genes involved in Parkinson's disease. And these other genes some of them seem to be involved in lysosomes, and we think that's because lysosomes are critical in removing Lewy bodies, synuclein deposits, and others have been involved in removing damaged mitochondria. So actually Parkinson's disease, maybe now 40 or 50 genes have been found. It's really been a remarkable era of discovery for Parkinson's disease.